The other day, I heard about this old sailor who lived by the shore. He used to sit by the edge of the water every evening, watching the tide roll in and out, the waves finding their rhythm, just like your breath does now. And as you listen, you might begin to notice the steady flow of your own breath, in and out, like the waves lapping at the shore, gentle and calming. And it's interesting, isn't it, how sometimes just observing something so simple, like the natural rhythm of the world, can help your mind wander effortlessly. And as you let your thoughts drift, you might find yourself becoming curious about how easily you can relax into that natural rhythm. And just like that sailor's eyes would follow the horizon, perhaps your thoughts can follow this idea of settling, softening, like the way the sand holds each wave for a moment before letting it go. Now there's something comforting about a lighthouse, isn't there? Standing tall, its light cutting through the dark, guiding without force, just being there. And as the sailor watched it, he might have noticed how its beam moved, slow and deliberate, drawing his attention here and there, until everything else seemed less important, fading into the background. The more he focused on that gentle rhythm of light, the quieter his mind became, almost as if the world outside and inside paused. And you too can simply follow that light, noticing how each beam feels a little deeper, a little more soothing, as if it's reaching somewhere important within you. One evening, a storm rolled in, fierce and loud. It rattled the windows and churned the sea into chaos. The sailor, though, wasn't afraid. You see, he knew storms came and went, and that the lighthouse always stood firm. And so he made himself a warm cup of tea, sat by the fire, and listened, really listened, to the sound of the wind and rain. And it's funny how sometimes when you just let the storm happen, it loses its power over you. And as he sat there, he remembered something. The lighthouse wasn't worried about the storm. It simply kept shining, steady and sure, knowing the storm would pass, as they always do. And perhaps you too can think of times when you face storms of your own, times when the wind howled and the waves crashed. And yet, here you are now, stronger, wiser, and with a light inside you that never went out. It's there, isn't it? That steady light within you, always guiding, always enough. Because just like the lighthouse, you don't need to fight the storm. You just keep shining, knowing you're far more resilient than you realize. And the more you connect with that light, the more you notice how calm the sea becomes. And as the storm passed, the sailor opened the door to find the world calm and refreshed. The sea, now smooth and glistening, reflected the light of the stars above. He breathed deeply, feeling a sense of peace and strength, knowing the lighthouse had done its job, just as it always does. And now as you let your awareness return to this moment, perhaps you can feel that same sense of calm clarity, as if you've stood by the lighthouse yourself, ready to shine in your own way. And from this moment, every time you notice a light, be it the sun, a candle, or just a street lamp, you can remember that inner strength, that steady light within you, guiding you effortlessly through whatever comes your way. Thank you for joining me and the sailor in the lighthouse today, and until next time, goodbye and good mental health.